Guys, have you heard? The world is coming to an end. Hey guys, what's going on? Travis Stephenson here. And look, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but doesn't it feel like the world is kind of coming to an end and we can stop this stuff? Like, look, I'm not talking about the fires that are going on. Look, sure enough, on cue, there's a little, hopefully you guys can hear that, police sirens. But I'm not talking about the fires out in California. Obviously, there might be some things that we can do, and hopefully they get that situation sorted out. It does look pretty crazy if you look at the videos of what's going on out there. I'm talking about us as individuals and as people. The last couple of days, I've just been blown away by some of the things that I'm reading that people are getting upset about. And here's a perfect example. I obviously run Facebook ads for my wife, and she put together this phenomenal program when she was pregnant where she actually did workouts in our house during her pregnancy. So during the 3 different stages, first, second, and third trimester, she did different workouts every single month. Recorded a bunch of them, did a bunch of warm-ups, also went to a chiropractor and did an interview, went to a naturopathic doctor and did an interview, put in a whole bunch of tips and tricks about like how you're feeling emotionally and what you can do. This is a phenomenal program of like 30 videos that take you through the entire pregnancy. We started advertising this program, and one of the lines in the advertisement was something about how this is my story, like it was from my wife's page, and it says, this is my story, and of how I bounced back to my pre-pregnancy weight within 24 hours of giving birth. And the response to this ad has been eye-opening, but also really, really infuriates me. Because look, there are women who are recently pregnant who are commenting on this ad saying that it is pressure to need to bounce back and to look a certain way and to not be this and to not be that, and this is body shaming. They said it's body shaming because my wife is in good shape, she's healthy, she takes care of herself, she reads and educates herself all the time, she takes care of our baby, she eats well, she makes sure everybody in the house eats well, she keeps, the house clean with little chemicals, and yet because she's telling her story, it's all of a sudden body shaming? Because she wants to be able to allow somebody else to follow in those same footsteps. If you happen to have a child, or you're having a child, and you wanted to not, go off the deep end, and to not just listen to all of the status quo messages that you get out there about, like, trust me, we just went through this, so it was an eye-opening experience for me as well, but when you've got every doctor telling you you shouldn't work out, or you can work out, or you can't work out, or you shouldn't have above this heart rate, it'd be nice to know what you can actually do, right? Getting real information from somebody who is actually going through it at the time seems like a good resource. No, she is not a doctor. No, she's not giving you medical advice. She's giving you good advice, how to stay fit and how to eat right, and what worked for her, but then also some things that you can do, that are sort of independent of the situation, things that are going on right then. So I found it absolutely amazing that one girl commented that this was body shaming. Another one chimed in, yeah, I agree with you. This is body shaming. Yeah, this is, it's too bad that we're held to these kind of standards. Look, I understand that I have a different perspective than a woman might. I understand that I'm never gonna have to maybe go through the same things when it comes to body shaming. Don't be fooled though to think that guys don't go through the same shit, okay? But second, I haven't gone through any of that, or I don't feel that way. But second, look, stop being so upset about everything, especially being upset over somebody else's good results, somebody else's good ending, somebody else's hard freaking work to get a result. Stop being upset about it and claiming that it's body shaming because she's telling her story about how she was able to achieve something that she's had hundreds of people message her asking her how they can get the same results. It's not body shaming. She's not saying, as women, we need to get our body back to look a certain way. That's not what's happening here. On another note of this is a little bit of a different thing because I think that part's ridiculous and we hopefully can all agree. I can be sensitive to the fact that maybe there's some people who might get upset about that, but here's the truth. You can't be upset because somebody else did something and they're trying to make something of themselves, and to also help other people. In this program, she gives you a community where you can talk to other women, where you can get advice from other women, and it's not just some freaking crazy Facebook group where everybody's giving you, answers left, right, and up and down. This is a real community where she actually wants to try to help people. And if you're upset about it and you're looking at that as some form of body shaming, I just think that there's something wrong with us as a society when that kind of shit is what upsets us, and then we all jump on the backs of everybody else who's claiming, yeah, that's not right, we shouldn't do that. So then, just now, and this is what kind of ticked it off in my head, I see a trending story on Facebook about J.K. Rowling, the writer of the Harry Potter series, which I grew up on. Many people around my age probably read those books as well. But I saw that the author of these books casted Johnny Depp as one of the roles in the movie. And that people are upset about this because at one point, his ex-wife, which they settled a divorce in January, and his ex-wife apparently accused him at some point of domestic violence. Afterwards, both the wife, the ex-wife now, and Johnny Depp made a public statement together that said, at no point in our relationship was there ever intention of committing body or mental harm, something along those effects. So basically, she recanted this assessment. She took back what she had said. And a lot of times in divorce gets ugly. My parents got a divorce. I know a little bit about it. And divorce can get ugly, and people might say some things in order to win one direction or the next of the actual divorce. And so, who knows? I'm not the one who's, and this looks like it's coming from a bad place because here I am talking about, women don't have a right to body shame, which I'm not saying that's the case. And then I'm also saying, oh, well, this domestic dispute thing shouldn't be so serious. I'm not saying that. There are cases of all of this stuff being taken very, very seriously, and it should be taken seriously. And I agree with everybody who gets upset when there's cause. But because somebody was accused of something and then later there was the accusation had no grounds, they weren't actually, that didn't follow through, we should be able to be the kind of people that look at it and say, hey, you know what it was. He wasn't accused of anything. She dropped any charges. She didn't file any charges, actually. She just accused him. And yet it's a trending story on Facebook that people are upset that he got this role, whatever it might be. And I'm thinking in my head, like, what is going on in our world when everybody gets so upset about everything? There has to be some line in the sand where it's not okay to be upset about that anymore. Like, when somebody's accused of something and then they get a job in a popular movie series, they weren't charged of anything. We can't do anything about that. If he was charged, then I understand being upset about it. But from what I'm reading, he wasn't charged. He wasn't convicted. The wife took it back. She made a public statement basically taking it back. So why are we actually upset about that? Why is it okay to be upset about that? Am I the only one? Am I going crazy to think that it just seems a little odd that these are things that are actually bothering us as humans? There's not enough going on in the world that we've got to get upset when some fitness model who's been on the cover of magazines goes through a pregnancy. She obviously goes through the same thing that every other pregnant woman's going to go through, and she decides, you know what? This cannot be the only way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do what I can to make sure that other women who have the same questions that I do about health and fitness during pregnancy, that they have a place to go to get answers. And that becomes body shaming because of a specific wording of, this is my story about how I bounced back within 24 hours. And she did. 24 hours after giving birth, she was back to her pre-pregnancy body weight. Anybody who knows anything about marketing, that is a good headline. Just like the headline of this video probably is something about the fact that the world is coming to an end and here's the proof, right? So in a world where your attention is being pulled in 1,000 different directions, sometimes you need to do something a little bit different in order to get attention. It doesn't mean that it's underhanded or like that it's meant to be cold or that it's meant to be insensitive. My wife in the entire program is incredibly sensitive to these pregnant women and to women in general, and then also gives a 30-day trial. And I know a lot of women who are going to see this are going to say, Travis, you don't even have a place to talk about this. And maybe that's the case because I'm a guy and I don't have the same situation that a woman might have when they come to seeing the ad, in which case look, we've done what we could to apologize to those individual women, and we said, hey, if that's how you feel, we apologize. That wasn't our intention. Here's what we intended to do. That should have also been good enough. However, of course, these women came back and said, well, no, that's not good enough. You should do this. I'm upset. This sucks. Why did you do that? You said this. Guys, look, do us all a favor. Stop getting upset about everything that somebody else is doing. Focus on your own stuff. Don't worry about being upset that Johnny Depp is playing an actor is playing a role in a Harry Potter series, and don't be upset when you see somebody who did something that maybe other people might like to do. And I see this in the internet marketing space as well. I see people who are achieving great things, and then everybody wants to hate on that person because of the way they're going about showing that they've achieved these things. It's crazy to me. It's not about expectations. It's not about any of that stuff. Stop being so upset about everything. Start focusing on your own stuff. Congratulate people when they achieve good things. Don't be upset that they worded it in a specific way. And we're going to be able to make some good progress here individually. And who knows, maybe even you, by going through this path of congratulating people instead of being jealous and hateful, who knows, maybe something good can come of that. Hopefully this doesn't mean that the end of the world is actually here. And again, I want to say that if anybody who's watching this is affected by the stuff that's going on in California, my prayers definitely go out to everybody in all of California at this point, because those wildfires are getting crazy, and the scenes that are coming out of there, they do look very, very like crazy, right? Like it's apocalyptic looking on the surface, like it's out of a movie. But our thoughts are with you here from South Florida, or west coast of Florida, and hopefully you guys can spread this message. Let's make it to where maybe a few people stop being so upset about everything that happens in the world and just focus on your own stuff, and be upset about the stuff that happens to you, but not the stuff that has no effect and there's really no reason to be upset about it. Let's see if maybe we can make a little bit of a change on that. Until next time, guys, see you soon.